Okay, I've got a question for you. What is the most important command in dog training? In all of dog training, whether it's obedience training, retriever training, duck hunting, pheasant hunting, protection work, being a pet, what's the most important command of all the commands? That's a pretty good question, isn't it? Because if you Google it, you'll discover there's 4 things that most people are concerned with: barking, jumping up on people, pulling on the leash, and not coming when they're called. Of all of these, the hear command is the most important. It's used no matter what your situation is, no matter what sport you're in or what type of dog training you're doing, or if you have a pet that you just want to go on a walk with. The command they must do, and they must do every time, is come when they're called. In my experience, people that have dogs, they want to find out, how can I get the dog to come when I call him? And my guess is that if there's, of all the dogs in America, only about 10% of the dogs come when they're called, and even less than that if there's a distraction. Let's say they're nose to nose with another dog. Let's say they're in a dog park. Let's say you're on a long walk and they're sniffing something and they trail off after a varmint of some sort. A lot of dogs come in the yard when they know that there's nothing more important to do. But when something comes up, some kind of a distraction, you call them, they don't come. Well, I'm going to start a series of training that is going to teach every dog to come. And I'm going to demonstrate what that is in just a moment. So get ready for this right now. So in this process, we're going to use a sound that's going to work whether this dog is 20 feet from me or a half a mile from me, whether I can see her or when I can't see her, whether she's in a precarious position or whether she's not. It's going to be something that is conditioned into her response system. I'm going to press a button on this remote collar, and it's going to be a tone. And when she hears that tone, she's going to come to me. To teach this, there's no pressure. It's all positive reinforcement. So the electric collar part of the device is not used in this learning process. In the beginning, there may be some food that we use, but it's mostly praise. And when she gets away from me, I'm going to press this little button and we can just watch what she does. I am positive she's just going to come running. And she'll do that if she's back in those woods, out of sight, with some other people, no matter what she's doing. So here I go, just for fun. That's a girl. Okay, good. Okay, so that's a close range example. I'm gonna, there's a lot of ways to teach the hear command. Most of them require pressure, or those that don't end up not working when you need it the most. You know, Dr. Pavlov, when he figured out the conditioned response, when the bell rang, the dog salivated. And when the bell rings, the dog can't help but salivate. It's the same thing. When you're conditioned to this tone properly, which is a process, it's not something that like a little pill you take and then they can do it. When they hear the tone, they respond just like Pavlov's dog responds by salivating because he knows he's going to get the food. This dog is going to respond because he knows he's going to get praise. The praise has been conditioned, and this dog started this program when it was a puppy. And I'm going to go through it. Now I'm going to try it again. This time I have another collar here, and I'm going to let you hear what that sounds like. Okay, here we go. I'm going to press the button. She hears it, but this isn't the one that she's wearing. This is a different collar. So that's what it sounds like to her. It's just a tone like that. Now you can take a dog and put an electric collar on him and press that tone button all you want. It means nothing to him. There's a process to teach what the tone means, to reinforce it with food and praise, and then practice it. And you have to be very consistent in this process. Okay, go on. You're okay. So I'm just going to walk around a little bit and get her to drift away from me. But I have used this with this is my fair lady. And when she's even as far away as the trees or in the woods where you can't even see her, this sound can get to her up to a half a mile away. So a lot of people might say, well, why don't you just call the dog? Well, they can't even hear me at that range. How come you don't use your whistle? They can't hear it. What if it's windy? They can't hear it. What if there's a truck coming and the truck is making a lot of noise? They can hear this tone. It's right there by their ears. So it's very crucial that this conditioning process takes place and that they learn that the reward is huge when they comply, and after a while it is a conditioned response. It's something, it's like a habit they can't control. I have that habit. It involves ice cream, but it for a dog it's very, very strong. They hear the tone, they come. They can't even help it. So I'm going to hope I can get her to drift away again so that we can demonstrate this one more time. I may not get her to go too far because she knows all the actions right here. I'll try to press my tone when she's not looking in a different direction. So can you see her now? Good girl, good girl. Okay, way to go. Okay, there's an example of it. She was happy when she was coming because it was good for her. Dogs do things that are good for them. And she wasn't taught that by brutalizing her and punishing her if she didn't come. She was only given praise when she did come, and that was part of the process. So what I'm going to do is set up a learning program of 3 or 4 videos that I'm going to put on my library, and it's going to start with puppies and how to begin this with puppies, and it will continue on until you end up with a dog that when you press that little tone and they hear it, it doesn't matter where they are or what they're doing, they're going to come running to you lickety-split. So you're going to have to go into my library and find this material. It's going to be under the Hear command, and you'll see the beginning of it with this video, but then it'll continue with new videos that will be on the library only. So look out for that. Go to billhillman.net, go to the library, sign up for the library, and these videos will be posted there.
The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Psalm 19, verse 1.